Beyond ARTV, time for a track review. Vilify by Device. Device is a industrial metal band formed by David Draiman of Disturbed. Disturbed is a heavy metal group that is currently on hiatus as of 2011, and he wanted to form this project, not to say that Disturbed is over, but for a new creative outlet. A lot of artists do it, obviously, and this is David's new outlet for his creativity. He wanted to make something that was a little bit more experimental than Disturbed. You're going to hear synthesizers and electronic sounds mixed in with, your typical heavy metal sounds here on this upcoming album, he says. And I think Vilify is a good example of that. You can hear not your typical synth or anything like that. When you hear synth, you're going to think something like Owl City. That's not what I mean by any means. Synthesizers have been around for a long time, and they can be used in many different ways and to produce many different sounds. And here on Vilify, the lead single, it is used in the sense that it adds a little bit more to the song and mixes in something new. The single premiered on February 19th, and the album is expected on April 9th. And I'm personally pretty excited for it. And I'm excited for this because they're doing something that's mixing it up a little bit in the metal scene. And I like the fact that they want to be more industrial. And I say industrial in the sense of like 9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor is actually going to be featured on the album, I believe, as well as Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm and several other guest musicians. I think on Vilify they do a good job of pushing out what their sound is going to be all about, and that is industrial metal. Now, I'll admit that, the first part of the song, it doesn't really seem like anything too different, but right before you get to the first chorus, you hear that synth kind of creep in, and it's very prominent right before the chorus rolls in, and that starts to mix it up a lot. And I really like the chorus on this one, and it definitely sounds like David, obviously. He's got a very unique vocal presenting style, and that's made apparent here on Vilify yet again, but at the same time, what else is David going to do? He's not going to completely change his style of music and put auto-tune on his vocals or anything like that. And with their sound, when they said they wanted to go industrial, it meant that they didn't want to make dubstep, they wanted to make stuff like in the vein of Ministry and 9 Inch Nails. The breakdown part of the song is really cool. I like a lot of the sounds tried, and it gets very heavy at times, so overall I am enjoying this track. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I think it's continuing to grow on me. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. But you don't just have to take my opinion on it. Let's go ahead and bring in my buddy Nate for a second opinion.
What's up, guys? Nate here. You might recognize me from Drummer Dude Music. There's a link down below. You can subscribe. I'm here to give a little bit more of a kind of a metal perspective on it. Alright, so first off, I really like the track. I'm a big fan of David Draiman. I've been following Disturbed for several years now. There was a lot of hype about this song, and just about the entire album in general. Like, looking at it in perspective to his Disturbed project, Disturbed, they started out with simple and basic songs. Like, Vilify, to me, the verses, not so much. But I really like the choruses and the last probably minute and a half or so of the song, when it goes chorus, breakdown, and then back into the chorus. That was something that I really liked. Back to what I was saying a minute ago with the Disturbed thing. They started off, it was all pretty basic and generic rock, but David's vocals, they all stood out, and he was just from their progression with Down With The Sickness to my personal opinion, Inside the Fire was kind of where they came up. Asylum, it was a great album, but I kind of wish they would have taken their time a little bit more on it. But if he can do the same thing with Vilify, or Device, excuse me, take it from right here and go all the way up to where he was with Inside the Fire with Disturbed, I think, Device, there's no telling where they can go. Overall, I give the song a 4 out of 5.